too, that would be awesome. It just gets a lot of echoes and actions.
Honey. Bye-bye.
You can just hit the mute button. That'd be great, guys. Thank you. Perfect. All right, we are getting started. I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Val Bazo. So I am the creator, the founder, if you will, of our big team. We call ourselves Legacy United. And I've been a coach for 7.5 years now, which is crazy to think about, because this is actually, for me, it is the longest job that I've ever had. It is really like the only job I've ever had, really, besides being a mom and a full-time college student. I used to joke with my mom, literally, when I was starting out in college. I'm like, I'm just gonna be a full-time college student. And she would be like, no, you can't do that. You have to graduate. Well, it ended up taking me 8 years to graduate. So I pretty much was a full-time college student. But for me, I knew from the depths of my soul that all that I wanted to be was a mom someday and a wife and stay at home and like do that role. Like that's what I wanted. And I never knew what I actually wanted to do with my life up through high school and college and all of that. So when Beachbody coaching kind of entered my life, I was a skeptic. I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't know social media. I had no idea really anything about working my own business. When I finally did graduate from college, I got my degree in kinesiology, which is great. Like I've always had that background of kind of like a sports medicine type thing, but I never actually used the degree. So long story short, if that kind of gives you any indication, I'm very much like, I was always indecisive. I never wanted to just settle on one thing. I always wanted to make sure I was home with my kids. My husband was full-time in the Navy, so he deployed all the time. We got married when we were 21. So, you know, this is just kind of like the role in the life that we have taken on. So it was back in 2007 when I was first introduced to a Beachbody program. And it only happened because my husband, he saw an infomercial. He was up late. We had just had our first daughter. She was about 2 months old. And he saw this infomercial advertising P90X. Anybody on here done P90X, heard of P90X? Raise your hand. Yeah, man. And on that infomercial, it was like $150 or $200 back then. And we were 22-year-old first-time parents in the military on one income. And he's like, I saw this really cool exercise program. It's DVDs. Let's get it. And I was like, no, we're not getting that. Like, we need to buy diapers. So he ended up calling his mom and being like, Mom, you should get this for me for Father's Day. So a week later, this kit shows up on our doorstep. And I only said yes to doing this with him because I wanted to prove him wrong. My personality is totally like, no, I'm going to prove you wrong type of deal. So we did it. And within the first week, this was my postpartum program and everything too. Oh my gosh, I was so sore, but I was falling in love with this program. I loved that it was proving my own self wrong in the sense that you didn't have to be in a gym. You didn't have to be on an elliptical, treadmill, any of that stuff. And it was perfect for a new mom. We were just getting it done after we put the baby to sleep or whatever. So that was where I fell in love with the Beachbody community and the Beachbody workouts, but I never knew anything about the coaching opportunity. So I never really paid attention to after the DVD talk or anything. I just did the workout and then I would shut it off. So from then on, for those next few years, anytime Beachbody would come out with a new program, I would order it off of an infomercial. And then Turbo Fire was like my soulmate workout. And it came into about 2013 when my husband and I, at this point, we had 2 little girls. He was nonstop deployments. We had just moved from Pennsylvania to Mississippi on another duty assignment. And we were moving in a new house. My husband was about to deploy again. And I was about 20 pounds overweight for my size. Like, ladies, when the pants you can't even do the rubber band trick, like you got to do something and you don't feel very good about yourself. So that was like where I was at in this beginning of 2013 area. So I kind of was like, well, I should probably get my TurboFire back out or something. And all at this time, I'm trying to juggle working out. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do when my husband deploys. We're in a new place. I knew like 2 people in Mississippi. My family is in Pennsylvania. Our family's in Georgia. So we had no one. So I was stressed. I was anxious. I just felt miserable. And we talk about kind of that. I don't want to say I was ever at rock bottom, but I was definitely in a really dark place and moody and grumpy and just negative. I was just negative. So and at this time, my husband and I were also figuring out like our finances and realizing that we were $140,000-ish in debt. And that was not including our mortgage. And we were like, what happened? Like, what has happened to our lives? We're 27, 28 years old. And we're literally not even making ends meet. And how did we get here? We're not driving any elaborate vehicles. We're not going crazy. We're just like the average people trying to do good for our kids and our family. So this was like right where I was at. So I was, again, still that stay-at-home mom right then and there. And I got online because my husband's like, look,
I already gave you
we're like not making ends meet. You're gonna have to at least go get a job. So I got online. The only reason why I got on the computer that day was to go and look up how to get my teaching certification in Mississippi. I was just gonna go get a teaching job. I knew I could do that with my degree, and we were going to put our kids in daycare. So as I was doing that, figuring out licensure things, a message popped up from this random acquaintance on Facebook. And she was like, hey, Val, have you ever thought about becoming a Beachbody coach? And I was like, what is that? And so long story short, I had apparently inspired her years ago in a MOPS group that we were in together in Pennsylvania. I had no idea. I just talked about when I was doing TurboFire and feeling amazing and loved it. She's like, you actually inspired me to start, and coaching is a really cool way to earn some money while you're holding yourself accountable and doing something that you enjoy. She's like, I figured you were already a coach because of how much you talked about it. So I kind of had a light bulb moment, but at the same time, I had a immediate skeptic, because again, negative Val. And in those few years, I had tried different network marketing things too, to try to like help us make ends meet. So I was like, I had done 31 bags. I'd do like those home parties once a month and make a few $100. I thought I was going to make it big doing that. No, I quit that after like 2 months. Cutco knives, did the home party with the knives. Yeah, that didn't last. So when it came to another network marketing job, I kind of had the red flag because, again, young Val, nothing works. Well, right. Nothing's going to work if you don't work for it, right? So she ended up, I told her no at first, and then she kept messaging me. And guys, when I tell you that this girl followed up with me 36 times in a 5-week period, I'm not exaggerating. I had gone back to use it as a training to show people that, following up is really, really good. And at the moment, she was like kind of bugging me, but at the same time, I kept going back to it, and I kept thinking, is there a reason why she's messaging me? Because I can't stop thinking about what if this could help offset that $500 a month or whatever we really needed to be living at least paycheck to paycheck. So obviously I ended up signing up, and I thought, I'm just going to use this for the discount. We go to military discount. I'm just going to get my product for free. I'm going to lose that 20 pounds that I really need to. I'm just going to take control of my own life. And that's what I did for about the first week, I'd say. And then this girl messaged me again about these team calls. And she was like, you should get on a team call. We have really great ways to earn money besides just the commission, and you get to hear from really great speakers and all of that. So one night while I was giving my girls, who at the time they were 2 and 4, giving them a bath, I turned on this team call. While I'm giving them a bath, I had my phone sitting on the counter, and this woman was on, and she was a leader of, a successful team in Beachbody. She had been coaching for a couple of years, And she was just sharing her story, just like I'm doing tonight. And she was like, I'm a mom of two. I started this because I had to lose 60 pounds after my second baby. And, her story just really kind of stuck with me. And she's like, I've just been doing this and I've figured out a way to really find something that I love by turning this business and treating it as the business that it is. I didn't want to treat it as a hobby. I wanted to set some business hours. I wanted to learn how to do this so then I could teach other women how to do it too. And then the kicker, she said two things that perked me up, and I was like, that's it. I got to figure this out. I'm doing this. No questions asked. She said, number one, instead of continuing on a pity party route, if that's where you are, instead of continuously saying the why me, why does this happen to me? Why can't I lose weight? Why do I always get kind of crapped on? That was the mindset that I was in 8 years ago. She's like, instead of saying why me, why not start saying why not me? Why not me get out of the debt that I'm in? Why not me? Why can't I lose the weight? Why not me? And I was like, never really thought about it like that. So my wheels kind of started turning. That's when the positive wheel started. And then she said, I make about $2,000 a week doing this. And I've been doing this for about 2 years. And my jaw just dropped because I'm like, wait a minute. I only got on the computer that day to look for a job because I need $500 a month. This chick's making $2,000 a week after 2 years. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. No Beachbody will never promise or guarantee any level of success or income. You have to work for it. But at the end of the day, I was like, wow, what if? And then I started saying, why not me? Why can't I? So from that day on, May of 2013, I drew my line in the sand. And that was where I started to treat this business as a business. I only paid $40 to come on in as a coach. And then I got that refunded because we were military. But I treated it immediately as a $1 million business that I knew for me in my situation and where I was at in life, I knew that I needed to make this work. And I wasn't going to be the notorious quitter like I had before. I didn't want to say this doesn't work whenever I would hit a roadblock. I didn't want to be the one who would just give up or quit when someone told me no. I already knew that the 140 Facebook friends that I had, and I didn't have an Instagram, I knew nothing about any social media platform. So I knew that about myself. And I knew I was going to have to do a lot of work. And I also knew that the random 140 Facebook friends that I did have was family, friends, college and high school people who already knew that I was the starter and the quitter. So there really wasn't much of a trust there when I was coming into this. So I had to, again, remember the beginning where I was like, I wanted to prove my husband wrong, that it wouldn't work, but it actually did. I developed that mindset with my audience. And I just started saying, you know what? I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to show them that I'm going to be here in a year. I'm going to show them that they'll be able to trust in me and rely on me. I'm going to do the fitness programs and get results. I'm going to start paying off debt and sharing it on social media, as scary as that was. I'm going to do this for myself and my family. And that's really how this business started for me. All right. And then I'll go through these slides, and towards the end, I'll give you kind of like a recap of, where we're at now and how it's worked for me. And then we'll also hear from a really successful coach who has not been in here in the business very long, but I can't wait for her at the end to kind of give you guys some pointers too. Because sometimes you can look at someone who's been doing this for 7.5 years, and probably most of you didn't know who I was way back when, but it's easy to look and be like, well, yeah, it's easy for you because you've been doing this for so long and this and that. But it's really just, we all start at ground zero. We all start at the same foundation. And for me, my passion has just become helping you develop a business that can create freedom in your life as well, while living a healthy and fulfilling life. All right. So I just kind of want to go over this, really who we are and who we aren't. We are not salespeople. And that can be the first kind of myth that so many people have. I came in here trying so hard to not be a salesman that I ended up being a salesman for my first couple of months. If that even makes sense. I found myself going so far out of the way trying to, just not be salesy. So I didn't do the business activity things because I was like, oh, well, that was sound salesy. When in return, that's not what it is. We're in a peer-to-peer world. And remember how I was talking about my friend invited me to become a coach because she thought, I was talking about TurboFire and all that. And she was like, she'd already assumed that I was already a coach because I just shared and talked about what I loved, what was working for me, and why I loved it. Okay, so that's the kicker. And that can be where so many people go wrong, where they're like, I don't want to do this because I'm going to be a salesperson. No, we are sharers, really. Okay, we're not experts. We don't have to be perfect. We're not on here forcing things down people's throats. If you follow me, if you follow the coach who invited you here, I'm sure that you were attracted to this for some reason, and you probably definitely didn't feel sold to, right? We're here to share in our hearts. Yes, we want to hit big goals. Yes, we want to run an online business that is like massive and our vision and everything. But at the end of the day, we really want that for you too, as our teammates coming in to duplicate that kind of success because it's fun and we get to do it all together. Okay. We work on ourselves first. We are setting and achieving goals and we are helping others. Like that's really who we are. We don't have to be at our goal weight. Like I said, I came in, I wasn't at my goal weight. I had about 20 pounds to lose and I just put myself out there, and my social media just became my accountability and my journal is the way that I like to talk about it. Right. So I just talked about it and what I was doing every single day. Okay. Don't have to have any certifications or degrees. You can, but you don't have to. Right. And our team mission ultimately is giving the tools to you to be able to change your life. And it sounds kind of crazy sometimes. And I'll look back and I'm like, wow, this is really what we get to do. And we truly are helping save lives, helping change lives. I've had over the years, several people who have lost over 100 to 150 pounds with me. And literally, like, I could get emotional every time I talk about it because if it weren't for me saying yes to this and sharing this, I mean, that saved their lives. And no matter if it's a tone up, whether it's 5 pounds, whether it's 15, 20, whatever, but man, those big, numbers, that's huge. And saving those people, helping people through anxiety and depression, just because I share what I've gone through, it's a big deal to me. And any coach who is successful, you'll find probably has the same type of heart and the same type of mentality behind that. Okay. We're here to be your virtual besties, ultimately to help keep you on track. We are your motivators, hopefully an inspiration in some way, but helping you find your own passion within and helping you develop the dream big mentality so you can take action to dream, to create those dreams to reality. Okay, because we're here for each other. And really, like, I didn't have any confidence whenever I came into this business. I really had no idea what I was doing. Shoot, I worked from a BlackBerry for my first 2 months into this business. It's crazy thinking back. That's like how long ago it was. But ultimately, I was inspired by the doers and the achievers and, people who would say, good job in our challenge groups and in our coach trainings. And I was just taking these little steps that ultimately came to this big picture fruition where I was like, wow, we really are surrounded by amazing people in this community. And that's who I want to be a part of. That's what I want to do. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just transition into a question that I get so often. What do you do? Like, what is your job? A day in the life of? First of all, we get to take care of ourselves first. And that sounds kind of crazy, but our job really is to stick with the program, follow a nutrition plan as best as possible, and drink your shake, drink your nutritionals, whatever you're doing over there with your Beachbody supplements and all of that. That's just what we do because it works, right? So we're taking care of that, or we're taking care of ourselves first. I don't really know any other job that's like a requirement, and that will help you earn money by taking care of yourself first. Maybe a personal trainer or something. I'm not sure, but I think that's just a really cool piece of our puzzle. And then we just share the love. Honestly, that is what it is. I talked about the peer-to-peer world. You're showing up on social media. That might sound scary to some. Let me tell you, that was a point that almost made me quit before I got started, even after hearing that story from my amazing upline coach, who is now one of my best friends. I was scared to post on social media. I didn't want to put myself out there. I thought that people would judge me and laugh at me. And I used to care so much what other people thought that I almost didn't go after what I wanted to create because I was afraid of what they might think. And at the end of the day, quote that I will always talk about is, you can't pay your bills with other people's opinions. So if you're like afraid that your bestie won't support you, if you're afraid that, Susie down the street might, gossip about you, if you're afraid that somebody, whatever, I'm here to tell you that I had those same fears. I had that same mentality. And some of my best friends at the time when I joined aren't my best friends anymore, because I realized if someone's not willing to support me in anything that I'm wanting to do, I wasn't trying to push it on them. I wasn't trying to do anything. The fact that I posted a before and after picture on my social media platform and I started posting on social made them literally not be my friend anymore. I think that's a pretty crappy thing. And I don't think that that's a real friend anyway. So I had to learn it the hard way. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm in this community of supportive women and I needed to pay my bills. So their opinions couldn't be what was my center. Okay. So not many joined me. So I'll tell you guys that up front. Like some of them did. One has stuck around. She's my best friend. I don't know if she's on the call. I can't see who's on right now, but literally one. Okay. So don't get caught up in that. Just know that you'd come in here and you have, friends who support you right in here. That's what we do. And it's a lot of fun. And then we get to spread the love. We are a light. We offer hope to people, and we do our personal development, which again, I thought was kind of crazy. What personal development is you literally read a book, listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook of something that will offer you positivity, some motivation, some inspiration, some hope. And I was like, wow, this can really change a person's life. It changed mine. So that's really what we do. And we just talk about what we're kind of learning. And we just offer a servant leadership heart is really what it comes down to. This is about you. So first things first, it's kind of like this wheel. You're on this journey, right? It's all about you. And then we get to inspire others, even if you don't feel like you're inspiring, because I certainly was like, who am I to be inspiring people? I'm just going to post at 5 a.m. on social media when I wake up to hold myself accountable, to go do my workout. And then I'm going to post, me hanging out with my kids since I'm a stay-at-home mom. And then I'm going to post something hopefully that might motivate someone. It would be like, literally, I remember one post that I did, my husband and I had paid off our first credit card and we were cutting it up and it was like in this frame because we had like cut up and closed out our credit card. It might sound silly to some, but this was my journey that I started on. And to us, that was like part of our story. So we took all of our Facebook and Instagram friends along on the journey, and it's added up to being able to inspire and help so many people just because we did it first. So when you hear us talk about leaders and leadership and all of that, guys, leaders is just people who decide to do something first and not quit. Okay. That's all that it is. And then it becomes this ripple effect. And it is so cool because you'll help 3 people and then those 3 people will each help their 3 people. And it's just like this little like chain that just starts happening. And before you know it, guys, it started with me, literally me saying yes and wanting to get healthy and fit. And then like, sure, let's learn this leadership. Let's take these tools that are being provided for me and actually use them. Let's set some business hours and see what I can do with this and not give up. It's now we're sitting on a team of over 10,000 women. And I'm sure some men in here too. I know I have a few men who are my personally sponsored coaches as well, but that's what the ripple effect looks like. It's incredible. And it just blows my mind. And I'm so humble and I'm so grateful, but it will keep multiplying. And it's just the coolest thing for me ever. So how will I know what to do? Is that what you're asking yourself right now? Well, sure, it sounds all awesome, but how will I know what to do? This fun little tracker, and I actually have it printed out here because this is what I've used for 7 years. Okay, we do a little check mark. We have open Zoom calls just like this weekly, so we can all get on together in our happy little community, do work together. But these are our vital behaviors, and it's literally a checklist. And if you do it, and when you do it, you will be successful. Okay, this is literally, it is 99% proven that this little paper that we use, it works. That's what we do. And yeah, that's what I've done for 7 years. So it's called the Vital Behaviors because I love, our CEO said this one time at a summit. He was like, we named it the Vital Behaviors because it's just like when you walk into a doctor's or a hospital, what do? They check your vitals. They check your vital signs. If you don't have any vital signs, then you're dead. That's what he said. He's like, then you're dead. So if you're not doing your business activity tracker, which are your vital behaviors, then your business is dead and it won't move forward. So I always like that, story of how he said that, because I was like brand new baby coach at that time. And I was like, wow, never really thought about it like that. Okay, I'm going to do this. And what all that it is, guys, is literally the first one is you work out and you drink your Shakeology. That's at the top of the paper. Okay. So we know we're going to do that, or your performance line or whatever. And then we connect, we invite, and we follow up with people. That's what we do. We post on our social, and basically what you see your coach doing, that's what we do. And then the behind the scenes stuff is the fun stuff. We just get to talk to people. And yeah, I thought that was a little bit scary at first too. I'm like, wait, I have to message a stranger? Yes. We will teach you how to tastefully and kindly and not annoyingly connect with other people, because we don't want to be those people who just like send annoying messages. That ain't us. That ain't our team, girls. Okay. We're not those annoying people. I promise you. Okay. We are uplifting. We are positive when we tell you exactly what to do. Then you get this holy grail, is what we call it, for coaching, in a little Google document form that you literally can keep open and just use it as reference every time you sit down to do your work. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3, get people results. Literally written here. That's our job. We get to help people get results like we are, right? That's the duplication process. And then 4 is do your personal development. My kind of business activity tracker right there. Okay. And then here's another thing that I really want to emphasize here on this call. I thought whenever I came in that everything had to be about healthy eating, about Beachbody, about wearing things that said Beachbody, about only eating fruits and vegetables, actually only showing that I eat fruits and vegetables. And really, I'm hitting up the Taco Bell twice a week, because I still do that because I like Taco Bell. I will not apologize for that, right? But so I didn't think that I could be real like that my first few months when I was just learning the ropes. The more real you are, the better. No one wants to just see you holding your Shakeology cup. Okay. I know I don't, but that was me for a while. I mean, I remember one post I did, literally, this was like my shaker cup with my Shakeology in it. And I went like this, like it was touching my face, like it was all like fun. And then I even kissed it, the one picture. I was like kissing my Shakeology cup. Y'all don't do that. But hey, you can, because I mean, success leaves clues. I have failed every single day, fallen on my face, and get back up, and I learn from my mistakes. Okay. So kissing the Shakeology cup, I'm sure my coach was like, oh my gosh, but she didn't like yell at me. We aren't here to yell at you or anything like that. We're just here to offer some inspiration and like, here, go in this direction, So I just showed you a few posts, right? You don't see any of us with like our shaker cups or, Beachbody DVD. Oh, another thing, I used to hold the DVDs when it used to be DVDs before bought. It would be like T25 on the top. So it would be like this, like I'd like look through it. I'm telling you, scroll back 7 years of my Facebook, you'll see how I started. But you see all our fun like Instagram stuff, right? Nowhere on here is it Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. We kind of breadcrumb it in. I always like to say we're like undercover coaches, okay? And really that's just because, think about this. When you stumble on someone's page and you see in their bio, Beachbody coach or doTERRA, or I don't know, what are some other companies, whatever. Do you immediately like want to follow them, or do you feel like, oh, they're probably going to try to sell me something? Or when you stumble on their page and all that you see is shaker cup, oils in their hand, like company representation, do you immediately, are you like inspired by that? Are you like, sweet, I want to follow this person? Or are you kind of like, no, I'm going to keep scrolling? I keep scrolling. And I had to remind myself of that early on in the business, where I was like, yes, I need to build trust with people before they're going to believe in what I'm doing. Otherwise, they're going to just feel like they're being sold to. Okay. So we're kind of like, I always call us more the influencers, because that's what we want to do. We are influencers of health and wellness. Okay. And everyday lifestyle, mom life, right? Wherever you're at in your season of life, that's what you really want to be talking about. Okay. And then here, just kind of another breakdown. What does our team provide? Y'all, you're on like a top team in Team Beachbody for 7 years in a row. We just landed our 7-time elite title, which is so amazing. And this is a we thing. I never, ever could have achieved that without not just my own personally sponsored coaches, but our entire team. We work together. Okay. We believe in collaboration over competition. There is room at the table for everybody. And I solely believe that. And, I hope that you end up joining us. I hope that you end up being part of this. But we offer weekly team calls, one-on-one trainings, group Facebook chats, which we're we're still on Facebook, but we also have this new really cool thing called BOD groups. But I'll get into that later. It's really cool. New coach mentorship, which actually starts tomorrow, and endless social media training, Google Drives, anything you could ever possibly need, want, question you have, you will have the answer to joining our team. Okay. It is so crazy to me that so many teams in the network don't provide any training. Like, you sign up and the only thing that you have is your back office, and your coach would be like, okay, peace, go do it or don't. I don't care. And I could never do that. I could never be like that. I want to offer community and support and accountability and help and everything. So we have a Monday night team call for our entire downline, and that's a lot of fun. And like I was saying, we do open weekly business, like literally in the mornings when I'm up, I'll toss up a Zoom link and I'll be like, hey, if anybody's on working, we just get on and do that business activity tracker together, you can ask questions, do whatever. I just feel like we have a really close community. And if you guys are a coach on the team and you're on and you want to type in the chat, something good that you love about our team, I think that it would be really helpful. But now let's get to my favorite. I really like to talk about money. Okay. I like to talk about how to make it, how to earn it, why it's so cool, the way that our business model is set up. And I'm going to just share a little scratch the surface type of thing, because you can earn so many different ways. But coming in, the only thing that you'll be really worrying about is that you get 20 to 40% commissions off of our products and programs. Okay. You can earn residual income very fast. I'm not going to talk much about ranks, but I will tell you, as soon as you come in, you're going to want to advance to Emerald rank as quickly as possible. It's just 2 people signing up with you. It can be your husband and your mama if you want it to be, but that will immediately unlock what is called our residual income. We'll teach you more about that as you come in if you decide to do this, but we want you to unlock that volume piece so that way you start to earn. Okay. I'm not really a numbers person. It kind of freaked me out at the beginning. I just went out and helped people and got them enrolled in my challenge groups and talked about the business and why I love it. And that's how I started to build a team. But now looking back, I'm like, wow, had I paid more attention to what my coach was trying to teach me, maybe I would have understood it a little bit sooner. And really, it's just trusting in what we're teaching you, believing in it, and just being like, okay, I have no idea what those terms are that you're using, Val, but I will just do it because I'm going to believe that it works, right? So that's really what the residual income is. And long term, as you grow a team, that's where you kind of start making money in your sleep, is what we always kind of refer it to. Okay. You have the ability to earn fast start bonuses. So what that is for every 5 coaches who you sign up, it could be a discount coach. It could be someone coming in to work the business. Because the cool thing is you can sign up as a coach and just strictly use it as a discount. It's kind of like an affiliate link that you get. So I don't know if you guys ever follow any bloggers or influencers like on Instagram, where a lot of them will share their cute, shoes or their hair products that they love or whatever. And they'll say, swipe up for my affiliate link. That just means that they'll make a little bit of commission if you purchase through their link. And it's something that you would want to get anyways. So that's really ultimately what you get when you sign up to be a coach. So you can use it or you don't have to use it. That's what your coaching ID really is, kind of in the layman's terms. Okay. So with fast start bonuses, when you're signing up at least 5 people in a 5-week period, you earn an extra $100. So that was always pretty cool for me, where I was like, well, cool. I'm going to just offer the affiliate link to all of my new customers anyways, because it just makes sense. And then guess what? I'm earning an extra $100 too. So that applies to you guys. And then quarterly bonuses. This is when you really kind of rank advance, and it starts at what we call 2-star diamond. But our quarterly bonuses are anywhere from about $1,200 a quarter up to about $40,000 a quarter. Yes, I said 40,000. It's so amazing. Okay, so it just depends on your rank, how hard you want to work, where you want to go. Some people want to push for that kind of a rank. Some people don't. There's no right or wrong. The beauty of this is when you sign up, this is your business. You get to do whatever you want with it. You can take our guidance. You can take our love. You can take everything that you want and either apply it or just do your own thing. Okay. given you just a few little like income examples, and I'm going to always preface by saying that Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. It is all based on your hard work, your work ethic, your due diligence, all of the things that it takes to actually be successful. Basically, it's on you. But I personally have always been inspired by an income and what I can set and how I can reach that. And it comes down to how many people you are helping. Always. You can never make an income without making an impact. And that's what we really rely on as in this team. These were just a few that I had randomly on my computer. And these are a couple I think are monthly. So this one is Jen. This was a couple years ago. Her monthly income was $15,000, which is so amazing. And I know now it's like well surpassed that. But it's cool too to see like down here, the bottom one down here, May 10th, that their weekly income was $250. Like how cool is that? And then by 5-6 years later, up to $20,000 in a month. Like that is really, really cool, right? Same up here. So, I mean, I will gladly talk about it. I earn 5 figures a week in my salary without bonuses. And it's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing what you can create and what you can do if this is something that you want to do. Again, all walks, all avenues of coaching. You can have the discount, you can be a hobby, or you can be a business builder. That's on you, and you can talk with your coach to decide what avenue you want to take. And we earn really fun trips. And unfortunately, the last year, COVID has whatever. We've had to have them canceled, but I am hopeful and positive that they will be back. But we get to earn trips. So we get a free trip every year. It's usually to the Caribbean or on a cruise or somewhere really cool, where if you are helping at least 3 people a month minimum, you earn your trip for free, you and a guest. So I think that's really, really fun and really cool. I always push for that. And then as you rank advance and really advance in the company, you have other trip opportunities to earn for free for leadership. And then we have a coach summit. So there's always at least 3 or 4 ways to travel and go on different trips within this community. So kind of wrapping it up, if you're willing to put in the work, y'all, set big goals. There's nothing that you can't do. Okay, there truly isn't. I look back over this journey and it's blown my mind in every way possible. Because as I was kind of talking to you, like, what do we do? What do we do as coaches? I do a lot of behind the scenes. I do a lot of messaging. I do a lot of talking with people. I've learned how to grow a social media platform and become an influencer, but it's taken time. I've been here for 7 years. I'm no one special. I'm not fancy. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3 girls. My husband is now home full time. So, I told you I'd kind of recap my story. So the beginning, came in with a big old dream. The 3 things that I wrote down on my goal board in the very beginning of this business after I was inspired by my coach was become debt-free, pay off all of our debt, $140,000. I wanted to give my husband the opportunity after 3 years to either stay in the Navy or to be able to get out of the Navy. Because at that point, when I was starting my business, we had 3 years until he would either have to re-enlist or he would get out of the Navy. So before that, we had never even had the option to be able to get out. It was our only income. He didn't have a college degree. As y'all know, I was a lifer in the college world, so we relied on his income. So for me, I was like, wouldn't it be really cool if in 3 years he could say yes or no, and it wouldn't be a I have to thing. So I wrote that down, and then I wrote down take our kids to Disney World whenever we want because we love Disney World, all right? So I just got to work. I put my head down. I used that business activity tracker, collaborated with people who were like doing big things in this business, and I just worked. And we paid off our debt 19 months in. So 19 months into my business, we had paid off about $110,000-ish, I think, dollars of that debt. And then the rest was like my student loans, I think. We were kind of like back and forth. But then we did end up paying that off like by the 2-year mark, which is crazy because we had set that goal at a 5-year goal. So we did it in like less than 2 years. So like that blew my mind. So that was like my first really big, wow. Like we did this. We had an action plan and we got to work. And then that 3-year mark came and my husband was able to walk away from the Navy. And like that proved to both of us that me literally not caring what anyone else said or thought the laughing sometimes that I would get whenever I would, send a message. I truthfully couldn't care less because I knew that someone else's opinion couldn't be what I relied on. I needed my husband home. He would deploy for 8 months at a time, and then he would be home for maybe 8 to 10 months, but still going out on like mini tours. And he would always deploy to, he was in Iraq twice, like the war zones, that's where he had to go. So it was really, really like on my heart to just be able to bring him home if he wanted to do that. Sorry. And he was, so he walked away. And that was just like such a blessing for us. And our kids got their daddy, and we didn't have to go through that anymore, where it was like, Daddy, we don't want you to leave. And this was also like FaceTime days and all this stuff, guys. Like, legit, I'm not that old, but my husband and I started out like writing letters back and forth to each other whenever we got married. That's how like crazy the times have changed. So he came home, and the next big crazy, we ended up, our plan was to go to Disney World this year, but COVID happened. But then the next goal that I wrote on the goal board, I mean, there's been so many. Dream house, which randomly I wrote, buy our dream house or build our dream house. This was like the beginning of 2018. I just randomly put 2020 on there. We bought our dream house literally 3 months ago. Crazy. And I had put 7-figure earner. I put become a millionaire with Beachbody. This was like after my husband got out. And I was like, we've done such cool things. Why not write that on my goal board? And I achieved that goal almost 2 years ago now, like a 7-figure earner within this network marketing company that ultimately it changed my life with the tools that it gives us, because I let it, because I just use the fitness programs. I fall in love. I put myself first. I do everything that I just laid out, and it's brought us here. And we've in the midst had our 3rd baby too. She's 3 now, but the sacrifices have been so worth it. And, I don't know, it's crazy what you can do when you literally stop caring what other people think and just go all in with you. I see the chat's blowing up, so I'll stop the screen share here in a second, but just want to tell you guys, like, what do you do now? If you're like, I want to do this, I want to talk more about it, I just think that I really want to dive in. We have a new coach training that every single one of you are always welcome to be a part of. We run it team-wide. I will be leading it, co-leading it, tri-leading it, whatever. We have different leaders in the group. So we all work together if you can't see that by now. And we would love to get you started. It's also an ongoing thing. So don't think, oh my gosh, I missed it. I missed the deadline. I can't start now. No, that's not how it is. We always plug you in and get you started, okay? If you have any questions still, you can post them in the chat. But yeah, it is mind-blowing to me what has happened in these last 7.5 years and the life that we have now versus where we came from. And it's just taken hard work and dedication and growth and doing a whole lot of stuff that, again, I'll teach you. And it's just going to be up to you if you want to apply it and do it too, or I'm not throwing anybody on the bus, because I was the notorious quitter in all those other businesses that I ran, but I would have been that one who would like take up to the Facebook and be like, it doesn't work. They scam you. Like, no, they don't. Like, no, they don't. It's up to you. Like, what if I would have been inspired by someone in the Cutco knife world? Maybe I'd be making it big over there. But I was inspired because we get to put our health and wellness first. And to me, that's the most precious thing. We have to be healthy in order to live a good life. So why not do that and then be able to give that gift to others? So anyways, y'all are amazing. Baby number 4 coming 2021. Y'all, I will take as many babies as my husband is going to give me, but I don't think he wants it. He just got a puppy. He's like, you get 3 babies. I've been wanting a puppy for my whole life. Like, so he got a puppy for Christmas. So we'll see. I was like, I'll take as many babies. You guys are awesome. Oh, thank you. Okay, so now before we end the call, I'm going to bring Meg on. Meg, I hope you're still here. Meg Waddell. So I asked her to pop on with us because, look, again, like I said, for 7 years I've been doing this, but this girl, literally, she signed up last year. And Meg, unmute yourself because I can't see you, so you can just talk.
You're fine.
But so she signed up. When was it, Meg? When did you sign up?
November of 2019.
Okay, so tell us a little bit like what your fears were before you signed up, how long you watched your coach, kind of like just a little bit of the backstory for us.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Meg. I have a 2.5-year-old little boy and I am having a baby in like a month and a half. I also work full time. I gained about 70 pounds with my son. So I was at a point after postpartum, I was just like, I got to do something. I need to figure something out. My upline coach is Dara Rockle, and we have actually been friends since we were little. We grew up together, but went to college, kind of lost touch, and we reconnected after I had my son. And she was like, hey, I run, these virtual boot camps. What do you think about joining? And at that point, I was like, I'm all in. Like for me, I wasn't somebody who had to think about it. I was ready to join the boot camp, ready to lose the baby weight. And I jumped in with my first program. I lost like 10 pounds in 21 days and I was just hooked. I was in love. I could do it at home with my babies baby at the time. And I just loved it. And my first month in the boot camp, Dara reached out to me and she was like, hey, like, what do you think about coaching? And I was like, absolutely not. I was the girl that posted pictures of her baby. You never like saw pictures of me on my Facebook. I didn't have a Facebook. I only had an Instagram and it was all my son. I had like maybe like 80 friends on there. Like, so I was like, this is not for me. I'm really not that. I'm outgoing when I'm comfortable, but when I'm not comfortable, I'm a super introvert. So I was like, this isn't going to work for me. Like, no, thank you. I love the boot camps. That was that. Dara continued to reach out to me month after month for 1.5 years. I actually watched her. I watched Val. I watched Jen for 1.5 years, and I watched them like just live this happy life that I wanted. I wanted to, continue to lose the weight. And a little backstory about me, I was that like yo-yo dieter. I would binge eat and then I would go on these crazy diets, lose the weight, and then I would go back to binge eating. And I knew with putting on 70 pounds with my son, like I can't live that life anymore. And if I couldn't show up for myself, I knew I could show up for other people and hold myself accountable. So, but I had this like fear in the back of my head, like, what are my friends going to think? What are my family going to think? Just posting online, like I'm going to post like the most vulnerable point of my life when I was 70 pounds heavier than I am now. I'm going to post a picture online. And it's not to say you have to like come all out and post your transformation picture right from the start. Cause I have lots of coaches on my team who are just starting their transformation. So they're just getting started with their journey. For me, I had already been doing the programs for 1.5 years. So I had that transformation, but I was petrified to put it online. But I knew that like this had changed my life in so many ways. Like who was I not to share it with the world? So 1.5 years of watching, I finally, and Dara literally asked me every month to the point where I was like, oh my God, like get out of here with this. But it's honestly changed my entire life. It's been the biggest blessing for our family. And for me, I didn't get into this for financial reasons or anything like that. It was really just because I wanted to be accountable and I wanted to be the healthiest, best mom I could to my little boy. And that's exactly what it's done. And it's blessed us in so many other ways So once I got out of my own way of like caring what people thought, it was the most freeing experience like ever. And now I really honestly could care less because people, like Val said, like people's opinions do not pay my bills. They do not bring me happiness. And at the end of the day, like if I'm happy and my family's happy, that's all that matters to me. So that's just a little bit about my story and kind of how I got started.
I love it. And what she is not telling y'all is the fact, she's like, I didn't come in for the income, which I don't think for me too, like I didn't start because of the income, right? Like I started, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the discount. Okay, if I can make really grocery money, $200 to $300 a month, like that would be great. And my first month, I made $304, I think it was. And I was like, if I could do this every month, that's going to be the biggest blessing ever. I'm so excited. Like I would call my mom on every Thursday. We get paid every Thursday too, by the way, guys. So on Thursdays, I would call my mom and be like, guess how much money I made today? I remember the first time I called her, she'd be like, oh, how much? I was like, $40 this week. And so my mom was probably like, you're a 28-year-old woman who is so excited over a $40 paycheck. Like that ain't going to even pay half the light bill, sweetie. But she was so supportive. My mom's always been super supportive. But so I like how you said that though. Like you're like, I came in for the community and the support and the accountability to be our best selves. and to ultimately change our mindsets from whatever society has done to us and programmed all of us women to think we have to eat 1,000 calories a day and run on a treadmill to lose weight. We can't love ourselves how we are, right? We have to care about what Susie says about our outfit behind our back. Like, how does that get developed? Like, I think most of us can relate to that, like going through school and everything. So this business and our community rather has brought us together in a way where we can just be like completely erase that kind of stuff and kind of rebuild and restart our mindset to happiness, joy, loving ourselves, duplicating this with other people. So anyways, Meg, you know, she might not have came in for the income, but she has been making a huge impact because she achieved elite for the first time this year in 9 months, which is practically like unheard of for a lot of people. This is a huge accomplishment. So I'm tooting her horn because she doesn't do that herself.
Thank you.
But she literally in 9 months has built a team of successful coaches. She has taught people how to grow a business by loving the programs first. And ultimately, she, in my opinion, has just found a way to communicate, to love on, to help, and to talk about the business opportunity with her people daily. When I say her people, her followers, her connecting, whatever, in a way that she's not afraid to talk about, hey, do you want to come in and do this exact thing with me and what I'm doing? And that's how this whole like cycle started. So Meg, about how many people do you, or I say how many people, I mean, in that 9 months, give us like 2 tips, I guess, real quick, of what you think has really like brought your team growth to that type of success.
So for me, you guys, because I watched for so long, when I decided to join, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever my coach is telling me to do. Like, she's successful. I saw Val and Dara and Jen, and they were growing these successful businesses. So I was like, they know what they're doing. I'm just going to listen and I'm going to trust them and I'm going to just do it. And that's exactly what I did. And that's how I really grew my team. 2 things, like for me, is consistency. You have to be consistent. You got to show up on the hard days, the good days, the bad days, and it'll make you a stronger the person I was a year ago is a completely different person that I am today. I'm more confident. I am happier. I am just like, because the best part about this job, you guys, is like, you get to work on yourself. Like, you get to pour into you first. So that's like the beauty of this business, is that like, it's not just, I love to help other people. I especially love to help mamas because I'm a mama and I just relate to mamas so much, but I love that I get to wake up every day and like pour into me first. And then I get to share that joy and that inspiration and love with other women. So like, that is the best. So consistency is my number one thing. Like, that is how I built my business. And the other thing is just like, I worked hard. Like, I'm just going to like be straight up honest with you, is like, you just got to be willing to show up and work hard and be coachable. Just trust. I just really trusted my mentor, and I just did exactly what she told me to do. And that's exactly what I did. We will give you exactly what you need, your daily building tools to do. And if you just follow that and stick to that 7 days a week as a new coach, like I show up 7 days a week. Once you lay your foundation and everything, there's all types of flexibility. And I have found that really quick in my business because I worked really hard for that first year. But it's just really consistency and working hard. And that's like always what I tell my coaches, like, that is what I'm looking for, because that is what works. It just is. And we're lucky, like Val was saying, is like, we have these amazing tools and trainings that all these other coaches just don't really have the access to. And it's just a really big blessing to know that you have people that know what they're doing. They know how to build success. And I don't toot my own horn, but like, I'm an example of that, because I really just went in and I just listened and I was coachable and I did exactly what I put on my vision board that I never thought I would do in a year. And I just was able to grow an incredible team of women with me. So
I love it. I love it. All right. So you've heard from an old grandma coach, and you've heard from a newbie. So I hope that between the two of us, we've, offered something that you can relate to, or something that's maybe had an aha moment, or like that light bulb. But yeah, I mean, the early mornings, late nights, can't even tell you how much sleep I probably lost out on. That's why y'all are going to want like double energized on Home Direct. So that way you can be like hot and energized. But We get it done. And the beauty too is this little tracker takes about an hour a day. Okay. So if you want to be super, super successful, you can do it 2 or 3 times. If you want to, do it, it's great success, but you want to do it your once a day, that's fine too. But that is it. That is it. And we have this for you. So I want you guys to contact the coach who invited you here. I want you to hopefully get signed up tonight so we can get you plugged into our coach training that kicks off tomorrow. We're going to be in the same room, y'all. We're going to be sitting at the same table. It's in our BOD group training is what it is. We'll teach you exactly how to do that. You're going to get started off right. So I'm so thankful that you took an hour out of your evening to spend with us. And just a heads up, if you do join us, then you'll have access to this recording to send to anyone who may be interested in working with you as a coach. And then we will also be doing these exact type of calls every single month. Okay, so I love this. I'm so thankful for every one of you who popped on tonight and hope to see you joining the team. Have a great night, guys.